Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Out Motorsports YouTube channel. I'm your host Alex Bowman, and today we are finishing up getting the karts ready so we can go kick some butt at Cincy Speedway this weekend. Let's get started. Like I said, welcome back everybody. We are going to be getting everything ready to go. If you were watching last week, I kind of talked about how there's not a ton to do just because they've been ready for a while. It's been like a month since I've been racing. So there's not a ton to do, but I'll start off going to kind of give you a rundown of everything that I got to do this week, and then we'll get started on all that. All right, so starting off over here, I have to lube up the clutches. I think that's it for over there. Oh, I need to return this other brake. One of the brakes I got that I put on last week, I got the wrong one. Ooh, fun thing. I have a tripod now. I've had this tripod for a while, just couldn't find where I put it like 5 years ago last time I used it. So this is going to help out a lot with getting good shots for my like time lapses and stuff. Moving on over here with Aries, pretty much everything's done. I need to wipe down the engine. I need to change the oil in both of the engines. But I'm going to do that after I get some heat into them since they've been sitting. But I need to wipe this down. Need to clean the bearings. And that's pretty much it for Aries. Coming over to Nike, a little bit more to do, but still not much. Got to put the seat back on. Same thing with the engine, wipe it down, clean the spark plug, change the oil, clean the bearings, and then over here with the brake that I put on, I still need to go and get a longer bolt for here. Haven't done that yet. And then I also will be analyzing some of the data from last time while I was at Cincy Speedway, just to see if there's anything I need to learn, and then also looking at my RPMs to see if I need to change my gearing at all. I'm probably going to need to add a couple teeth onto each rear sprocket because I know the track's going to slow down. There's no way it's going to be at a 14-second lap time starting off this week, so I need to adjust for that. Also, I felt like I didn't have as good of a drive off the corner for some reason. I don't really know why. So the kart that beat me in the first heat, his name's Buddy, I noticed pretty much the whole night he had a lot better drive off the corner than me. That might have been because I was driving in pretty deep, but I can normally do that and then get off the corner pretty well and hang even. But he had just a slight edge on me, and I think looking at RPMs in the videos, I think when that was happening was I could have put a few more teeth on the rear sprocket and helped with that and got me even with him. That way I could gain a bunch beginning of the corner and through the center, and then still be able to get off and hold even with him. But I'll kind of show you guys the graphs that I look at and everything to help me determine that. I'll be looking at probably the heat race data to decide where to start off at, and then from there that'll be pretty much it. I have to do tires as well. I need to measure these all tonight. But as far as they need to all be resurfaced, but I'm going to do that later in the week. I'll probably do it Thursday or Friday, probably Friday. I'll resurface all of these. I don't like doing it too early in the week because then, I don't know, I just like it to be as fresh as possible. So that'll be after this video is already out, because this video will come out on Wednesday and that'll probably be Friday. So you guys won't get to see that, but you've seen me resurface tires a few times. So with that, we are gonna go ahead and get started with getting these clutches ready to go and getting them put back on the engines. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick about tearing down these clutches and stuff, and how to lube them up with some good old petroleum jelly. So you gotta get yourself some snap ring pliers. just take this snap ring off on top. My pliers are kind of worn down, so they're not wanting to work right now. There we go. Try not to shoot that across the floor. Pull this top basket off. Don't lose the washer. So this little washer is under the snap ring. This bearing comes out, and then you've got the gear and the basket. If I was going to be changing the driver, I would take this snap ring off, the gear would pull out, put the new one in, put that on. And then here are all the discs and everything. To clean this, which I've already done, you just take this part and set it down into some acetone for 10 minutes. And yeah, that's pretty much it for cleaning it. There's another bearing here as well, with sandwiched in between two washers. I have already put petroleum jelly on this when I put it back together, so I'm going to leave that. And then going to take this basket and this bearing, just take a tiny bit of petroleum jelly, just like literally not much at all, because if you put too much, it can work its way to the friction. Yeah, if I could talk, it can work its way to the friction discs and burn up your clutch. So I just put a couple little dabs all around, drop it back into the middle of the sprocket. And then the difficult part is getting this all lined back up with all these tabs. There's the first one. There's the second one. Give it a little spin. Put the washer back on. Put the snap ring back on. Push it down on there all the way. Visually check to make sure it's in the groove. Give it a good spin, make sure it's not binding up anywhere, make sure there's not any excessive play. This one is freely spinning, but it doesn't have any play in it right now. If there is a little bit of play, that's fine, as long as it's not a lot. And I'll test both halves to make sure they're both spinning freely, and that's it. And then moving on, you move on to the next one. And this one is a slightly different type because it has a smaller sprocket on it. So pull that snap ring off. There's a even smaller washer, and then this, it has the bearing down here again, which I've already lubed up, and then this sprocket, with it being an 11, is not big enough to have a bearing inside of it, so it just works as a bushing. So there's no bearing to take out or anything, so you just take a little dab of petroleum jelly again, just kind of smear that in there, and then put it back on. And same way as the other one, put it all back together. And there we go. Same thing again, test spin. This one won't spin quite as well since it doesn't have the bearings. This one, I don't know if you can tell, there's maybe a 16th, 32nd to a 16th of an inch of play in this one. So like I said, a little bit of play is fine. Spins well, turn it around. Oh, I was holding on to the disc there. Spins, good for this one. And that's how you do your clutches. Next thing that I'm gonna work on is getting all of the front bearings cleaned and lubed and put back on. So honestly, it should only take a few minutes. So hopefully this is a pretty short time lapse for you guys to watch. Let's do it. That was really weird and cheesy. I don't know why I did that. Please ignore that. Let's just clean these bearings. just like that, all of the bearings on both carts, front and rear, are all finished up. Pretty easy to do. You guys didn't see me do the rear axle on Nike just because I didn't feel like moving the camera around and stuff. But yeah, it's all done, ready to go. Next up, I am going to start working on getting the engine for Aries all cleaned up. So wiping it down, doing the spark plugs, and that's probably all I'll do for right now. It's what time is it? 1 o'clock at night. So if you guys don't know, I work night shift, so I'm awake throughout the night. So I don't want to be firing up the engine right now to get heat into it to do the oil. So I'll worry about that a different day this week when I'm awake, when normal people are awake, because I don't want to be a nuisance to my neighbors. But anyways, so what I'm doing right now is cleaning the spark plugs. Hopefully you guys can see how black this the end of the spark plug is. So let me see if I have a clean one here. Nope, I need to clean a bunch of them actually. These are all dirty. Okay, this one is pretty clean. I need to do a little bit more on it. But comparison, this is a clean one. This is one that needs to be cleaned. So that is so dark just from the one night of racing. So that's, let's see, about 4 laps of practice. What do we do? A 6-lap heat race. So that's like 10 laps, and then a 8-lap feature. So 18 laps, and that's how black the spark plug got already. So it's important that you clean these after every race, and I like to cycle them through as well. That's why I have so many here that are dirty and need to be cleaned. Because what I'll do is I'll clean them all at once and then cycle through until they're all dirty. That way they're always being switched out and there's not one that is constantly being used. But in order to clean it, I just have a wire brush and I just rub it on there until it's clean. It's really just like carbon and fuel buildup, so it comes off super easy. Get an air compressor, blow it out, make sure there's no pieces or anything left in there, and then it's good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and start wiping down the engine. One more thing I want to make note on with spark plugs. They all come with this washer on them right here. If you are running a 206 engine, make sure that washer stays on here. A lot of built engines come with their own washer that they want you to run here that has the right spacing for what they want with their piston and stuff. However, the 206 rulebook states that you must have this washer on your spark plug. So if you're running a 206, make sure you have that. And just like that, Aries is almost completely ready to go. All it's left to do is throw the body on and change the oil. But I'm gonna leave the body off until after I do the oil. And then coming over here to Nike, pretty much the same thing. Need to put the body on, the seat on, change the oil, and then put those bigger bolts in the brake. So we are getting there. Not a ton left to do. I'm pretty much just gonna consider Aries ready to go, and then Nike just needs those bolts, put the seat on, and she'll be ready to go as well. We are going to go inside now and check out the data from last time I was at Cincy Speedway and figure out what adjustments I need to make for my rear sprockets so that I can get the engine right at the perfect RPM. So I'm going to get that pulled up and I'll kind of show you guys some of what I'm looking at and the thought process behind it. Looking at the data here, we're going to start off looking at the clone medium. So turning around here, I got all of the laps pulled up. We have the A main up here, the heat race and hot laps. So starting off with hot laps, hopefully this focuses. I can't really tell how focused it is, but let's hope it's focused. I'm gonna use my mouse. I don't know how well you can see that. Well, hopefully you can see what I'm doing with the mouse. So We can see here the highest RPM, or well, the RPM on the fastest lap was a 69.77. Highest was 69.99. If you look through the averages of them, they're all 69.68, right around there. From here to here, I thought the track was gonna speed up for the heat race, so we dropped 2 teeth, and you can see that reported in kind of these 2 laps, 6 and 7 right here. They're both high 67s, so that 2 teeth is like a perfect 200 drop. My highest RPM for the heat race is 69.18. I don't believe that's correct though. That's probably on some wheel spin or something, because if you look at all the rest of them, there's nothing else even close to that high. That was my fastest lap, so it would be a little bit higher. Accurate would probably be right around 68 or something. So yeah, that's it did pick up a little bit. Like you can see, I picked up a little, like a 1/10 and a half between the 2 sessions. But I believe the correct thing would be high 67s for the RPMs. And then going up to the feature, you can see, looking at them all, I'm like 66, 67 consistently throughout pretty much the entire thing. So with that in mind, I've got a change in mind, but I'm not going to tell you what it is, because I don't really want to be giving away all the secrets of how many RPMs and everything exactly I'm shooting for. I guess I kind of gave you guys a little bit just now, but there's a certain number that I'm trying to hit, and I don't want to tell you exactly what that number is. So give me just a sec. I will pull up the Clone Heavy laps, and we'll check those out as well. Okay, now on to looking at the Clone Heavy data. So right off the bat, if you guys remember, I didn't get any clean laps in the A main for Clone Heavy. So I've got that pulled up, but we can pretty much just throw that out the window right away, because there's not going to be any useful data there. So looking at hot laps and the heat race, coming up here to hot laps, this time around, hot laps is on the top, and then heat, and then the features down here. Like I said, we're ignoring the feature. So looking at hot laps, I didn't make any changes between the two. I left the gear the same the whole night. But looking at the data from this lap 9 here, and kind of the ones around it, I probably should have changed the gear, but I think I got confused and kind of misled by these 2 flares here, which again, I think were probably some wheel spin. So I think the accurate reading would probably be somewhere in the 67s for where that one was. And then coming down here to the heat race, you can see that reflected again, where once we get going, I am consistently high 66s and low 67s. So with that in mind, I will again be making some changes based off of that information. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and end off this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. You got to see a little bit of my data too. Hopefully you guys kind of liked that. Let me know if you like seeing this data broke down a little bit more. If you just don't like it at all, tell me too. Tell me how you like the new shots with the tripod, or just kind of make comments and have conversation in the comments. I love when you guys make comments and stuff. It makes my day and makes everything pretty awesome. So with that, remember, like and subscribe. Like I said, make comments down below. And remember, pecker up, hammer down.